The reason I'm recording this in my attic right now, well, you can't see me in my attic, but the reason I am doing this in the first place is because my file got corrupted. So this recording is going to be me pretending to react to the patch notes for the first time. Right now, I haven't seen a single video with anyone's opinions on the patch notes. So that means you're going to have a raw, unfiltered opinion, and you're not going to get me stealing other people's opinions. So let's get right into it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because what if I post the most amazing video in the history of videos? Like, what if I post the next Mr. Beast Squid Game and you miss it, and you're like, oh man, I really wish I could have subscribed to Fakesome Fire, and you're gonna feel so bad. I mean, you're only gonna feel a little bad because it's only Fakesome Fire, but you know. So right now in the patch notes, I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can. Since I've already done this once, I'm gonna be able to go a little faster, but I still want to explain everything in detail, so it might be however long this video is. So yeah, that's how much time I'm gonna take from you. Right now, oh my gosh, the arrow spray is getting buffed. I didn't read that yet. Reduce the amount of ink consumed by approximately 9%. Do you know what that means? When you shoot, it uses less ink, which means you can shoot more shots, and you can use less ink, which is really good because it's a painting weapon and you need to paint for longer, and you can, I don't know. But anyways, the arrow spray isn't too prevalent. It's not a very good weapon, so it's really good that it's being buffed like this, even if it's not too much. All the splatter shots. Reduce the scatter of shots while on land by approximately 17%. This also includes mid-air shot scatter reduction from the Intensify Action ability. So what that means is, if you can see, there's a reticle whenever you're shooting on a specific weapon, and there's a little box around it. That box is where the shots might land. So the splatter shot, this new buff, is actually closing this little gap, so the shots shoot in a straighter line, which is really good, because if you're shooting someone and you have a super wide range of where your shots can land, you're most likely not going to hit them. Let's give an example. Your target's right here. I'll make them smaller because it's realistic. And you're shooting with this splatter shot, and your reticle, I mean, it's a little big, but it's over here. So you shoot, but it goes all over the place, and you only hit him once, but you've shot 5 times. So now it closes a little, and now 17%, I would say. And now you shoot 5 times, and you hit him 2 times instead. So that's good for all the splatter shots. And Intensify Action, if you're wearing Intensify Action and you jump, it's going to be even closer to your shooting on land than it was before. I think splatter shots, they're not like even that in desperate need for a buff. I mean, it's such an easy weapon to learn. I can see why they should make it super good, but I don't think they should make it viable outside of beginners or beginners to competitive. It's just, I feel like the splatter shots don't need that much integrity. I think they should stay at around A tier, not super good and not almost really, really super good, but not bad or not mid, like a 7 out of 10 weapon. Okay, that is my opinion on that. NZAP! Okay, if you didn't know that, NZAP is my main, and I'm really excited for this buff because reduce the scatter of shots while on land by approximately 17%. It's the same as this, but the thing is, actually I don't even need Google Draw for this one. NZAP has Tacticooler, And if you don't know, one of the effects of drinking your soda on Tacticooler is that when you jump, you have the same jump RNG as you would have on land, which means you can jump all over the place and you won't suffer any consequences. So, if the NZAPs on land RNG is reduced, that also means when the NZAP has Tacticooler, its jump RNG is also reduced. So I think that's, I think maybe I might be thinking into this much, but if Nintendo did that on purpose, I think that's really smart. Splattershot Pro, Fort Splattershot Pro, increased the radiance? What? That, not okay. Cause the pros, they're not even doing too well. Honestly, no, we don't see them being used in any major tournaments. And to nerf them, it's just rubbing salt in the wound. Completely unfair. We're taking this as an L, Nintendo. Okay. Luna Blaster Neo. Oh, there's a lot. Reduce the scatter of shots mid-air by approximately 25%. I see this as good and bad, because one good thing about blasters is that when you shoot and the person isn't so far in line, you can still maybe hit them with your blast radius. But also at the other time, I think this also reduces jump RNG, which is also good. So I don't know, I might be wrong on this, so if you want to clarify on this, please do in the comments, because I could always be wrong on this kind of stuff. I haven't read patch notes before. I just watch videos of people going over the patch notes and explaining what they mean. Luna Blaster, oh, the second one, also made mid-air scat reduction. Okay, so intensify action kind of means jump RNG, so I think I might be right on this. It's easier to activate, even with a smaller number of gear abilities. Okay, so let me explain to you why this is really, really good. When blasters first got released and intensify action just got released as an ability, people thought that blasters and jump RNG were saved because intensify action would decrease your jump RNG, and blasters had a really big problem with that. But the thing is that intensify action worked differently with blasters than any other weapon, so, which means if you put more on it, it would be even harder as you put more intensify action. So it was you were running even little intensify action, so you're not getting as much buffs. Which, why? I don't get it. They're still making it a problem, but you didn't have to make it a problem. You had the solution, and then you made it a problem. So, this intensify action thing is probably one of, maybe one of the best buffs in this entire patch. The effect gained from equipping the maximum abilities still won't change, but now if you run if you run less intensify action, which people are kind of forced to do because of the thing, then you're getting more from it, which is good. Dynamo Roller. Okay, so Dynamo Roller is getting a buff, and it's really small, but I really think it could change a lot. Dynamo, after you swing the roller, it takes a shorter amount of time to go back to normal and start recovering ink again, which is good. Only 1/6 of a second, but I don't think it was that long to begin with anyways, so. Oh, it seems like Paintbrush is getting buffed? What? Oh, wow, that's a little crazy. I thought Paintbrush was actually pretty good, and to buff it, it's gonna make it even better. Because I feel like a lot of people have seen people on Twitter complaining about Paintbrushes killing them all the time in their C-rank matches, and how it's so overpowered. But now, if it's not having as much ink consumption, which is one of its only weaknesses besides the startup lag, which, wow, it's becoming a way stronger weapon and more well-rounded and can do more things. which is really good. Reduce the amount of ink consumed. So you could also play bumper brushes on this one. And I think it's a 2-shot if you bump into people, which is good for bumper brushes because that's good. You need a 2-shot. GooTuber. Adjusted the display indicating the charge amount to make it easier to tell when it will exceed 100 damage dealt. So, I think this is weird because it will indicate when you exceed 100 damage on your marker, on your charge, which means you can get 100 damage without fully charging the charger. I mean, no one's ever played GooTuber before, so no one would know that this exists, but I feel like this patch is implying that you could already do more than 100 damage with the GooTuber, and you could deal 100 damage without fully charging it. Really weird. I'm gonna try to test this out. I could be totally wrong, so if you think I'm wrong, go in the comments, do a timestamp to right now, and go over it. Sorry for that. Blobber. Increase the radius of ink splatter from the point of impact and ink spray by approximately 10%. Okay. I think what this means is this little circle. It's you. I know. I'm an artist. You're using the blobber. The blobber is a scribble. And once you shoot it, you shoot. And this is the point in which your shots hit the ground. So I think what this patch is trying to do is once your shots hit the ground, they start to spread out. And they will start going all over the place. But it's only 10%. So it will just be like this. I think that's what they're trying to do, but we'll never know, because I don't know what this means that much. But I feel like this is weird because a lot of people, I mean, the blobber isn't that good of a weapon in competitive play, but what a lot of people say is that the blobber is an annoying weapon because it hits you all the time. But if your shots go everywhere, then why are they making it more annoying, but the weapon is still not even getting any better? Okay, sorry for going a little crazy. Increase the damage dealt to opponents by the explosion of log shots in the terrain, 28 to 30. Okay, so it's still both a 4-shot if you hit them with only explode shots lodged into the ground, but who's killing people with lodged shot into the ground with a tri-stringer? That's crazy. So I think that's good because now you only have 70 damage to do with the rest of your weapon, or let your Slayer do it, which could be the Splatoon Stamper, and then they could do 1 charge shot and then they're dead, which is really good. I think that actually works for the tri-stringer, and I hope it gets used more in competitive play because, one, it's the first weapon we knew of in the entire Splatoon 3. We knew the tri-stringer was coming before we even knew that there was a splatter shot coming back. So, well, I mean, you can kind of expect that a splatter shot is coming back, but they could always do something. So, more tri-stringer love. I think if it completely dominated the meta, that would be hilarious. There's also another buff right here. Increase the movement speed while charging and while fully charged by approximately 13%. Okay, so I'm assuming tri-stringers had to run speed before, but I don't think they'll be running as much. Now for the sub notes. Mwahahaha. Sprinkler. Sprinkler. So, if you haven't known, during the Splatfest, I only used one weapon, and that was the Aerospray, the gold one. So, it had Sprinkler, and I kind of got annoyed because Sprinkler sucks, and it decays really quick. But, look at the patch! You get 3 more seconds of perfect sprinkling action. It's amazing. And not only that, angle shooter, which I'm sure a lot more people are going to be talking about because it increased damage by 5 points, and I think since you can throw 3 angle shooters without any sub-saver, 5 points is a big deal because it's really 15 points. But I feel like most people aren't using angle shooter to get direct hits. They're using it for the tripwire effect. So why don't they just buff the tripwire effect? Makes no sense. Also, I like it. I like how they're trying to buff angle shooter, and instead of actually doing stuff, they're buffing paint and damage, which, okay. I'll give you it. If we get angle shooter weapons and they start working and angle shooter starts synergizing with kits more, I would love it. Trizooka. Increase the damage dealt by explosions from 40 to 60 damage. I like that. I think not only 20 damage, that's huge, especially for a special that big, and a lot of people use that special a ton, including the carbon roller deco, which is seen a lot. Yeah, totally. I think most weapons can two-shot you if you only have 40 health left. So that's a good buff to Trizooka, but is it really what Trizooka needed? It's mostly mobility. There's no real problem with the damage on Trizooka, but everyone will take it. I'm sure no one's complaining about this one. Increase the radius of ink shot explosion by approximately 50%. Whoa. So I think it's what 2 means is if you either collected no ink at all or very little amount of ink, and you shoot your thing and it causes an explosion that's around 50% bigger. That's huge. And it increased the radius by 25 when you collected all the ink to fill up the vacuum, then you'll get it increased by 25%. But what if you collect like half the ink needed? Then what's going to happen then? That's dumb, because most people are going to collect either half or somewhere in between. They're not going to collect little, and they're not going to fill that vacuum up. This isn't enough to save ink vac. It's definitely the worst special. This is a weird buff. Super Chump. Increase the amount of damage dealt to players caught in an explosion near a decoy to 60, from 60 to 70, and increase the radius of the area by approximately 38%. Increase the radius of the decoy explosion area that deals 3.5 damage. 3.5 is 35.0 damage by approximately 20%. I think these are all good things. Right now, I think the Super Chump is only being used for paint and blocking shots. I mean, that's what I use it for in solo matches, and I think that's what people talk about using them for. But if you're using them for chip damage and you're using it for real killing, then this special weapon is becoming a jack of all trades, and it can do multiple great things. Inkjet. Okay, say goodbye to the Inkjet meta. It lasted, how long? 2 months. Long time running. Decrease the radius. Oh, that's not even that bad. Okay, so I'm going to explain this real quick because I can draw it in Google Draw, and I kind of want to draw something in Google Draw. So, delete all of this. This is from my blog blobber segment. You fire an inkjet shot. It's around this place. So, if there was an opponent standing right here, and you hit them with the inkjet shot, it would be 120 damage. They would be killed. But now, you have a circle. What? But wait, what? That is crazy. You have another circle. And if the opponent's in this circle, then they get hit for 50 damage. And you can two-shot them because you have a ton of inkjet shots. But wait, there's more. A bigger circle where now, if the opponent's in this big, and not this big in their actual game. It's not drawn to scale. But if it's in this bigger circle, then they get hit first. 30 damage. 30, 50, 120. So you want to hit people here, but it's okay if you hit people here or here, because then you can get them later. What they're doing is they're keeping the 50 and they're keeping the 30 and 120 the same, but what they're doing to little old 50, they're making him smaller. Now, you have a greater chance of hitting them for 30 and not 50, and not a high chance of hitting them for 50. So you have to have better aim, or you're not going to succeed as much while using inkjet. That's pretty much all it is. I'm sure most of you got that, though. Points required: Clash Blaster Neo, 180, 170. I'm glad they're buffing the Clash Blaster, because you know what? No one uses it. Carbon Roller, not Carbon Roller Deco. If it was Carbon Roller Deco, getting a buff would probably be very rare, and it would catapult it up, and everyone would start using it, because I think the one main flaw with the Carbon Roller is you're going to have to need a lot of paint to support it, and points for special actually would kind of help with that, because the Carbon Roller is going to be in the ink and not shooting themselves. Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, I'm not sure is really that much of a threat in the meta that they're going to have to add another 10 points, but if it's one of the 6 weapons that they think fits that category, then I'll let them. Tri-Slosher Novu, 180, 190. That's the one with Tacticooler. I'm glad they're limiting Tacticooler output, because we're trying not to get into a spammy Tacticooler strategy for teams. That would be terrible. Mini Splatling, one dev totally was like, you know what? I hate mini Splatlings. And they just woke up July 25th and then changed the patch notes last second. What did mini Splatling do to you? And ballpoint, it's inevitable. It's a nerf. We're going to read this and then we're going to be done. Made it possible to join a room when private battles are in progress. That's actually perfect. I like that. More quality of life changes, and I'm sure if you're joining a big party and either a streamer or you have enough people to fill up a room, or you don't have enough people to fill up the room and you need more people, perfect. More quality of life. Now, there's a lot of these things. I'm gonna put the link to this in the description, and you guys could totally read this on your own, but it's a lot, and I don't really think I'm gonna be playing these modes enough. Well, definitely ranked, but I'm not gonna be playing these enough to notice all of them, but bugs fixed are definitely good for the game. That's all for this video. Remember, like, subscribe. I'm turning into what's his name? What's up, Logan Paulers? Today we're back with another video. We're going to Japan. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because what if I post the greatest video? I know I talked about this already, but what if I post such a great, amazing, incredible video that you just can't help it, and you're like, oh no, I missed out on the Fakesome Fire's best video ever, and you didn't have notifications. I think this is a real life scenario, and it could happen to you if you don't like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share with a friend, comment down below, and did I cover it? Watch till the end, but you already did watch to the end if you're listening to this. Watch it on an alt account for more views. Bye!